Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
Previously, on Friday Night Quests, our heroes have struck an accord with a vengeful spirit, and seem to have routed out a spy. But now, it seems the control of the town has been ceded to the elven empire of Talim, and now a difficult choice lies ahead of them. It's about 12:15 in the morning, and you are all standing in the snow. There's a little bit of a light flurry beginning. You have the half-elf woman from Seahorses tied up over, I think, Quatra's shoulder. You see the beacon in the center of town change. No longer is it a blue flame with an orange fox in the center. The flame is now emerald-colored with the symbol of a golden flower, a lily, in the center. Most of you who are not Ivy recognize this as the nation of Talim, the elven empire that has been gaining power in the human civilization and expanding its reach. You know from the letter that Carson wrote before his death that an agent, the one you have slung over your shoulder, was reporting back to Talim.
So this is the spy we have. At least we think this is the spy.
The evidence you found so far seems to support that theory.
Okay.
You know that Perrin is back in the trading post, along with Khyle and his whole family, waiting for you. Their expectation was that you would all travel to Port Page. Kyle's family's not 100% on board with this, but they understand that Kyle's life seemed to be in danger. But right now they are waiting for you. You only have another 15 minutes if you want to leave town tonight. Otherwise, the guards will be back on duty. As a reminder, you have a snow white owl and a giant boar named Gregory and Snuggles, respectively.
That's right.
Gregory and
Awesome.
Snuggles, they have their own show
They will soon.
that we're putting on
Yes.
on the road.
So, do we have any idea how that flame in the center of town changes?
Make a history check for me. And then anyone who wants to can, except for Ivy.
21.
Natural 20.
Both of you would know the flame is linked to some sort of original signal fire in the capital of wherever the ruler is. It's basically a way for everyone who is aligned with the barony to know who's in charge. This sort of practice is actually pretty common. Because the borders were changing so drastically and so frequently after the collapse, it became a necessity, and the only way for people to know, okay, who am I paying taxes to right now? Whose borders am I actually still in? So right now the borders have just changed.
So someone would go into a bank and get an exchange for Talim dollars, and they'd step outside and it'd be the Huang, and you'd be like, oh man, the exchange rate is really gonna get me on the way back.
Well, here's the actually thing that both of you know with results over 20. Huang Barony has been holding out against becoming a part of the empire for a long time, and there's actually been some skirmishes. Part of the reason the Huang Barony has been able to hold out for as long as it has is it's protected by a desert. There's a desert in between it and the rest of Talim, which makes it very difficult to send military force or any sort of show of force. And for whatever reason, the people who run this barony have not succumbed to any sort of political leanings.
Where's the capital?
Matet.
Oh, okay. Got it. So it's just south.
Southeast from you, yeah.
So as soon as we see the signal fire go, who's carrying the body of the person who's unconscious?
I think
Quatra. So Phineus quickly turns around because it's still nighttime and notices, and Quatra knows this as well. Okay, we have to get out of town right now. We have 15 minutes because we just went from taking out an potential invading spy to being the ones who are taking out a loyal spy to this town. This town has just switched sides.
I think leaving is a good idea.
Are we bringing the spy with us?
We have to, or else that knight's going to keep attacking the town.
Okay, well, let's go get
Wait,
Khyle.
We could just give it to the knight.
Well, the knight, we're pretty sure, was Talim, right?
No, the knight was aligned with the barony.
Oh, that's right. So definitely going to still keep attacking the town. I don't know if they switch sides and be like, no, it's cool. You guys are cool now.
The knight was not attacking the town.
Well, was attacking those individuals. And yes, one of them is a gentleman that may or may not deserve our protection, but that kid definitely does. And it's not his fault.
Ah, yes, the child.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, we should leave.
You also remember from your conversation with the knight that he said that his plan to find the spy was he would know when the spy was slain. He wouldn't know who it was in advance. So if he had to just keep killing to find them, he would, before he found his rest.
Do we feel that he would magically know the right person that was slain? Or we could just be like, oh, this person died. They were definitely the spy.
He believed that he would magically know. You
Didn't-
can roll an Arcana check if you'd like.
It's the one thing that I think all of us are terrible at. So
Didn't he have like a way to look at the town?
He did, but somehow he was still not able to divine who was responsible. You were.
Can we see like where he was looking down? Like, could we maybe like hold up the spy and like point out and be like, "Hey, it's this guy."
The woman, you mean?
Yeah.
I got a 16 in Arcana.
16. You have heard of revenants, and a revenant would know. Revenants are undead driven by revenge. But the spy wasn't one of the ones who wronged him. The spy was his earlier mission. You are not sure if magic would key him into this person. Didn't sound like it would.
Okay. So we have a couple options. The thing is whether we kill this person that we have right now, which can be an option, or we take them and we bring them back to the barony. But either of those options means we have to get out of this town tonight. Because if we commit whatever we want to commit to here, we can't do it where Talim is in control.
And we bring the child with us.
Of course. Let's go get Khyle right now, shall we?
Sure.
Let's go.
So you head into the trading post?
And the whole time we're walking there, I'm just kind of like looking at the sky, pointing at the spy.
Mhm.
Like, it's this one. Like, looking at different parts of the sky. Mouthing, here she is. Just, I don't know.
Go ahead. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
That's a 16.
Okay, noted. As you enter the trading post, you see that Perrin is like immediately, as soon as you enter, he walks up to you with 2 bags in his hands, says, "Are we going? Are we doing this?"
Yes, we're going to get Khyle now.
We're getting out of town very, very quickly.
Yes.
Khyle and his family are waiting by the table nearby. Kyle's only 15, but he's still really not used to being up this late, so he's starting to nod off at the table a little bit. His father, Henry, stands up, holding their bags, and says, "Where we're going, my son will be safe."
Yes, but we must leave now.
Where are we going?
Yeah, where are we going?
Perrin says, "Well, off to Mazra, head to Port Page. It'll be a dangerous road, but I think that is the best choice for all of us."
I'm sorry, Perrin. We're going to Martet to bring this spy to justice.
He looks over his shoulder at the woman. "I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't especially care. I'm willing to pay you to bring me to Port Page." That was the arrangement.
Port Page is no longer safe. We investigated the origin of this knight, and we believe it has other agents going to Port Page as well. This is a lie.
I know. Roll a deception check.
Oh no.
Oh, that would have been a natty 20.
What?
Well, you can really hear that metal die.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the opposite of a natural 20. That's a natural 1.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
good.
Okay. He puts his bags down and looks down at you. Agents in Port Page.
Yes.
So there are multiple knights.
We believe it's possible.
And
you
they
saw
are-
multiple knights come into town, didn't you?
They are made of ice.
We are pretty certain they are.
Oh, they're definitely made of ice.
And they are going to a coastal town.
Listen, I don't know what these ice knights do or what you and your friends did to get them so pissed off, but clearly they're dedicated.
You know, I don't have to pay you. And he picks up his bags and he steps out of the tavern, out into the darkness, out into the snow.
Well, he's chosen his own fate.
I agree. He's dead weight.
Let's go. And I cast Pass Without a Trace on all of us.
You guys are doing Pass Without a Trace. I'm thinking a little bit longer about this. He does have money. He does have
It lasts
no,
an
not
hour, we're
stealing.
fine.
He does have influence. Like he can still be an asset to get us to where we need to go right now.
He is obviously not going to go to Matet. And I don't have charisma. I'm not going to be able to convince him.
Am I wrong that we need to bring this spy to the Baron and Baron's in Montet?
Aren't we running out of time?
Yeah,
Oh.
we need to.
Yeah, we need to go.
We should have this conversation elsewhere.
Well, right now you have about 24 hours
Yep.
to have some sort of. Logistically, you're not going to reach the Baron within 24 hours. You just have to make some progress on.
I meant
mission.
like in the aspect of we have 15 minutes to get out of here.
You have like 5, and realistically, you're not going to be able to mount up your cart
Okay.
in the next 5 minutes.
I guess we're leaving tomorrow then.
This Baron just took off
Why don't you...
in the night.
Wait, what about Ivy? Why doesn't Ivy go and try to, like, charm her with her, like, innocence? Of, like, you need to come with us.
Are you saying that to her?
Yeah.
Okay, I listen to Althea and I go find him.
Yep.
Why don't you use your innocence as a weapon?
You see
Yeah.
that he is actually already, his teeth are chattering. As a reminder, he's been sweaty and nervous for the last 24 hours.
Oh, I thought you were saying 24
Well,
years.
nice ice cold air will
Yeah,
definitely solve that.
He is. You can see that already the beads of sweat have frozen on his body, and he's like shaking as he's walking through the snow.
I start to actually get a little concerned, and I follow behind very, like, quietly from a distance to make sure it doesn't go wrong.
I'll start loading up our cart.
Okay.
Perrin, where are you going?
He puts down his bags. Oh, thank God. He turns and he says, "If you won't come with me, then I guess I'll go alone."
Oh, Perrin, you don't need to do that. We are here for you.
Okay, then let's go together.
Okay, I do believe we are in need of money.
Yes. If we can get to the cart and bring the cart around. And you see he's actually starting to look a little bit faint.
Oh, what is wrong? And I like put my hand on his forehead.
It's just freezing cold.
At a
Oh.
at a distance, can I kind of get that, like, something's wrong?
Make a medicine check or a perception check of your
Okay.
choice.
Can I make a medicine check as well?
Yeah, go for it.
It's called medicine.
It's 23.
Perception or medicine?
Perception.
Okay.
Mine was a 16 for medicine.
Perfect. Both of you can tell that this man is going to get hypothermia if he stays out here much longer.
I run up and cast Produce Flame in my hand to, like, get it close to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know, going in alone is always a bad idea.
He reaches down and picks up the bags. I guess this bears further discussion.
Look, I think you obviously want to go to Port whatever Page, but we have other business to attend to right now. So how about this? Why don't you come with us to Matet, and then we'll get you to Port Page.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Could you get advantage because I've kind of been helping softening him up?
I would say I almost put this at disadvantage because he really doesn't want to go to Matet,
Got
so
it.
it's going to be a flat roll.
No. Oh, I definitely didn't work.
No.
That's
What-
a 2.
2 total.
Yup.
He says, "Why don't we discuss it tonight?" And he just storms past you back to the trading post.
I
And he
undo my Produce Flame then. I turn it off, and then I walk past him, and I do put it back on to warm myself.
Okay. And he like watches it go a little bit enviously. And he looks back over his shoulder, and Ivy, you see he's looking at the wall. There's about a 20-foot high wall that separates Narrowalk from the nation of Mazra. And you can see the guards beginning to step back onto the wall.
I technically do have Pass It or Trace on, so
Yes.
they won't be able to see us.
Yes, but he's more looking at them a little bit like his window's closed anyway.
Got it, yeah.
So he's going back to the tavern.
Do I see Hillary coming back to the inn?
You see Althea coming back to the inn.
Oh, yeah, because Hillary doesn't exist in this world.
I mean, there are Hillarys in this world, but
There are
Right.
no Hillarys in this world.
I'm with her.
It's not. We're having an episode where I and Hillary go into the story.
You'll have to play 2 characters.
Yeah.
Do I see Althea coming back to the inn?
Yes.
Inn? Okay. Are we not leaving tonight?
We're going to try and leave as soon as possible, but it may not be tonight.
So I shouldn't put blankies on this spy in the cart?
I mean, blankies are good because it will keep them warm.
She can't sleep here overnight. She will die.
Well, why don't you bring her inside then?
What is your name, spy?
She turns. I am not a spy. I'm just a horse master. And
Insight on that.
Yeah, I would like to do that. as
Sure,
well.
you all can make an insight roll.
Insight.
Is she
check.
elf?
Half elf.
Half elf. Filthy.
22.
6 for me.
15.
15.
15 as well. Everyone but Phineas. Phineas, you don't get a lot out of her.
Nice.
And everyone else can tell she is lying about not being a spy.
You need to stop lying to us or else you're going to die.
My name is Octavia DeRush. Does that DeRush sound familiar to anyone?
No.
I mean, DeRay.
History check?
Phineas, you're the only one who's been in town long enough to make
Yeah.
a history check. Everyone would know this, actually, because you all bought provisions at Harfield Hall. Harfield Hall is run by the DeRush family, Desdemona DeRush.
Oh. Okay, and continue.
You're going to really want to reconsider what you're doing right now.
You're going to really want to reconsider you lying to us because you are a spy. So
I'm no such thing.
you are a spy. You are lying. Please just start telling us the truth.
Make an intimidation check. Okay.
9.
She doesn't say anything else.
You will receive a fair trial with the Baron. Now submit to justice.
Then they will show me innocence.
Very well. Then we will take you to Matet.
Are
I
you guys
am curious why you feel like you need to lie to us. What benefit comes from that?
I'm innocent.
Are all of you certain that she's a spy?
Yes.
I am certain she is lying to us.
Do we need information?
Are you talking about torturing her?
No.
Okay,
I would never do
That
that.
scared me.
But in my travels, I've picked up a couple, mental games that you can trick people into saying certain things.
Like mind torture.
No. No mind torture, nothing like that. There's no pain.
Interrogation techniques.
No, it's just you ask some tricky questions and people tend to just say things.
Advanced interrogation.
How does it work?
It's just something I've picked up on the road. It's really hard to kind of share how it works. It's like a trick. Like if you get somebody drunk enough, you can say, I bet you can do a backflip, and then they do a backflip,
That's not a trick. That's just taking advantage of a drunk person.
Look, it's just something I can work out here if we want a little bit more information.
Where are you all standing? Are you still standing on the front steps?
Yeah, by the cart.
Okay.
You're being really cagey about how you question witnesses and such.
How often have you questioned a witness, Phineas?
Only if they're somebody who we feel like is probably going to do something probably dishonest in the town, and
What's your background with interviewing suspects?
Oh, I don't know anything about interviewing suspects. Again, this is just a trick some bard friends and I like to do sometimes.
A trick like a magic trick or like
I mean,
a spell?
I don't use it for how they have used it in the past.
How have
but-
they used it in the past?
I mean, you can. Some people will tell you like, "Oh, this is where I keep, my horse, and this is where I keep our gold and stuff like that." But I don't, I just want to figure out what's going on with the spy.
You want to get Octavia drunk?
No.
Yeah.
nothing
So
like
how
that.
does it work?
It's a kind of, honestly, I've been saying a little bit too much about it. It's kind of a thing that bards, we kind of keep to ourselves about it. You know how
I'll go get some hard liquor, and I.
No.
start that towards-
You definitely don't need to do that.
Do you have Octavia over your shoulder still?
I'm pulling her out of the cart.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you enter, Henry the Gravedigger is standing in the doorway. I would like some explanation about what's going on here.
Are you Kyle's father?
Yes, he's Kyle's father.
Okay.
You remember, he's Kyle's father.
I don't remember who you are.
It's been 13 hours.
we played that game you like.
He wanted an explanation?
Yeah, he wants to know, he was told very little about what's going on. And he's put a lot in faith right now, and he's starting to question.
We're doing our best to keep your son safe, but we need to bring this spy to justice.
That's Octavia.
Yes.
We need to have a conversation in the morning.
I will have it with breakfast with you.
You come to my house for breakfast, and we explain everything. Right now, I'm taking my
What do
son
you
home.
make for breakfast?
Porridge.
Do I
Okay.
hear this conversation?
I think you're all close enough to
That
be
sounds
able to-
right.
No, Kyle will not be going anywhere because he's a flight risk.
Oh. That's true. Now
Make-
I have to get this woman drunk. Pardon me.
Althea, make a persuasion check with advantage because Quatra backed you up.
17.
17's enough. He reluctantly sort of grumbles and steps back into the tavern.
You guys may all stay in my room.
Fine, thank you. We appreciate the hospitality.
I'd like to show them where my room is.
Sure.
Wait, where are you going to sleep?
I was just going to sleep in the hall.
Nice.
Well,
I
she
don't-
barely sleeps
I
anyway.
don't
Curl up
think,
as a cat
I
and
honestly
just-
have not slept in that room.
You don't need to
You
sleep.
just tranced outside her door, right?
I did.
Outside
I
Althea's
just,
door?
So I'm not using it.
I'd like your hardest, most sinful liquor, barkeep.
He will, for 1 gold, produce you something that he refers to as the devil.
Oh, excellent.
Wow.
I give him a gold.
Because sinful. Amanda says I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay.
The spy is still outside, right?
No, she's over my shoulder now.
Oh, you
Yeah.
took her in.
So there's
Well,
a little bit of a moment as he like slides it over. He says, hey friend,
Yes.
why do you have our horse master over your shoulder?
She's a spy.
Do I hear what's going on?
I think it's very quiet in here. The words "she's a spy" kind of just ring across the empty room.
I run over and I
Wait
go,
a second.
Oh
You guys took her inside the tavern?
Yes.
I run in and I go, what a kidder, he's already like
Phineas, I'm assuming
halfway
you're
to
running
next
up as
week.
well.
Yes, I would have probably tried to stop before we
Wait,
brought the spy that everyone knows in town as a person in town inside.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is her hit points like? She looks messed up, right?
She's pretty beaten.
Cool. I'm gonna use Balm of the Summer Court just to like look at her and like give her some hit points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Bomb of Summer Court.
gonna use 2 of them.
Okay.
Oh, that's really bad. They're both ones. So that is 3.
Okay.
Hit
She
points.
is mechanically now at 3 hit points because she was essentially hovering at 0 unconsciousness.
Maybe
What does it look like when you do this?
It's just visual. So I just kind of like lock like eyes with her and I just kind of like nod a little bit and just kind of like, she glows slightly.
Okay.
Just a little bit. I think I might use my last one in there as well.
Okay.
That's a little bit. It's an extra 3 points. So she's at 6 hit points.
Got it. She's doing a lot better.
But she knows that I did it because I like to make eye contact.
Got it.
So I want to go over and be like, oh, he's just kidding. And I try to take her off of Quatra's shoulder and put her on mine.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can have her.
Instead.
I give her to you.
Okay, cool. And I'm like, this guy. And I head upstairs to her. Oh, like, she's just a little drunk. We're going to put her down for, like, a nap. She's asleep it off.
Make a deception check.
Okay, god damn it. 14.
Okay. He's going to have to roll against that.
God damn it.
Okay. He does not see the ropes tying her up. So, as far as you can tell, and Phineas, you've got a keen eye for this as well, he does not think it's anything more than she got a little hammered.
I mean, hey, he doesn't know what she's into.
She's already drunk?
We really got to get her upstairs, though. Thank you so much for the drinks. We'll take care of it from here.
Okay, you all head upstairs.
I'll take this just in case, and I grab the devil.
Okay.
Grab the devil.
As I'm walking away, I like toss like a gold coin at the barkeep so we can get her own. Oh no, never mind. I don't want to do that because I don't want her to run away. I'm
Okay.
gonna
You
put her
grab
in
the
my
coin in
room.
midair with your other hand?
Yes,
That's a pretty good trick.
I'm like, I have really high dex. It's my highest stat.
That's true.
And I go upstairs and I put her in my room.
Welcome to Friday Night Quest. It's me, Mike Christensen, your host and also your dungeon master. Thank you for listening to this is episode 5 of the new campaign. We are so excited for you to hear what we have coming in the next arc, which is coming very, very soon. But first, the party has some decisions to make. We'll get you back to those decisions in just a moment. In the meantime, we wanted to give a thank you to everyone who's been leaving us a rating and review on iTunes. We recorded this so long ago, we have not been caught up on the reviews yet. We'll start reading some names out on the next episode, which will go up on the 21st, by the way. I know I usually give you that information at the end, but I'm just going to give it to you now for free because you've been good. If you leave us a 5-star rating and review and you use the word chosen somewhere in your review, we will read your name aloud on the air. There will be a bonus shout-out to someone I have not decided what the criteria are for that, so I'm just going to say one of the reviews gets a bonus shout-out. If you can help us out on social media, you can tweet about the show using the Friday Night Quests hashtag. Leaving ratings and reviews on iTunes is also tremendously helpful. Thank you so much. We love you. We miss you from the holidays. God, one of these days I'll get good at the mid-roll segment, but that is not this day. I'll talk to you later. Now back to the show. Bye! You're all in Althea's room, I'm assuming, for this.
No, I hate other people in my room.
Okay.
I will close the door.
Well, everyone's following you.
Yeah.
I close the door in their
We've
faces.
tried to stop you. Are we going to make a check here?
We need Phineus to interrogate her.
Fine. I'm going to open the door.
This is the first time any of you have entered Althea's room.
It
What's
smells
in
like
your room?
candles in here.
It's, I mean, we're staying in an inn, so there can't be much stuff. I don't really have much stuff.
Yeah, right now the only things are like a couple of things that fell out of her bag
Yeah.
earlier when a boar jumped out of her bag.
Yeah.
What is this poster of
and the bag.
175 degrees?
Nothing to say. My favorite was Ember.
Tears it off, rolls it away.
Yeah.
The fire bard.
The fire part. I mean, yeah. So she's a pretty Spartan individual in more ways than one, actually. And yeah, there's really not much there. She keeps it very like minimal. Mm-hmm. It is a rucksack, and like that's it. So I put her on the bed, and I kind of sit her up.
She's just glaring at all of you.
She's still tied up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Phineus,
Yeah.
do the thing.
Okay. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. Here, I'll ask a couple questions, right?
Here, take the devil.
No, I don't need the drink. And I'm looking at what's the spy's name again?
Octavia.
I'm looking at Octavia, and Phineus slips his right hand into his pocket and thumbs a piece of copper that's in his pocket. I'll do it sleight of hand in case anyone wants
go
to
ahead
see
and do a
what
sleight of hand.
I want to intently watch everything he does and not her while he's doing this.
Okay.
That was a good roll.
I'm peering-
22 sleight of hand.
I'm peering into his pocket.
Threw my hand into my pocket.
Althea, roll a perception. Anyone else who wants to, if they're watching. I know Althea is suspicious of Phineas.
I'm not intently watching
Well,
what
he's
he's doing with his
suspicious of
hands in his
Mesa.
pocket. What are you doing with your hands in your pockets? Jingling change.
Is it?
Perception, yeah.
Are you one of those guys that just jingles your
I love to
change all
jingle
the time?
change, man.
19.
19,
I got a
no.
6.
Ivy
not
doesn't
watching.
notice anything. Althea also doesn't notice anything.
God damn it.
So, like, when I do this, I slip my right hand in my pocket and thumb a piece of copper. I, like, flourish my left hand, like a magician, basically, as to distract.
Yes.
All right. I've done it. I've performed the great bardic incantation. Now, Octavia, you will tell us the truth. For instance, where exactly... What was your target here in town? And I've cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay, got it. She doesn't make a save or anything like that.
Nope.
So
Not until I probe deeper.
yes.
Gross.
I was thinking that.
So with Detect Thoughts, I just hear things that are like the surface level of her mind that she's thinking.
But as soon as you ask the question, what was your intent here in town?
Yeah.
She thinks back to the letter she was just writing.
Which was the letter that we discovered, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which basically that was about, like, she discovered...
She was reporting on the murders in town.
So she was just reporting on the town as a whole.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you see a number of letters. You see this montage of her putting letters, and you see them in reverse order, and sort of writing the letter, putting it in, writing the letter, putting it in, reporting on what's going on in town. They start getting much more frequent in the last few days and the last few months with more activity going on. Things like the knight being in town, or, hey, a knight made of ice murdered some people. Like, those are very frequent. You also see notes on the comings and goings into Mazra. And you see these letters going further back and further back, about 5 or 6 months, until she receives a letter instead. And this letter directs her to gather information that could be substantial enough that Talim could use it as a foothold to gain political influence over the barony.
So, like, what does she say when I ask that question about, like, what were you...
She says, I sell horses, and I rent horses.
Really?
And saddles.
Well, you must be doing a great job, because it sounds like you helped Talim actually establish that foothold they asked for a few months ago.
Her eyes go wide. And you see the same sequence of events play out, and you also see...
She's holding in a fart.
You see her sizing you up.
Now, this little trick, and I want to lean in really close and make my voice as low as possible so they can't hear it as closely.
Okay. I'll ask you for a roll in a minute.
Yeah. Now, Octavia, clearly I know a little bit more than I'm letting on here, and you're giving me all the information, so this little trick is a peculiar one, because I'm going to ask you more questions, and the more you fight telling the truth, well, you're going to start losing some of your memories. You're going to start losing a lot of different parts of things that you remember and things that you know. Now, it's just part of this trick. I would suggest that you be as honest as possible over the next few minutes. I'm casting a second power.
I know this spell.
Suggestion.
So, this lasts for 8 hours. If she fails the save, I would like a stealth check. And also, what's the material component? What are you doing to cast this
The
spell?
material component is, this is all these like little materials and bits are in my pockets. It's a snake's tongue and either a bit of honeycomb or a drop of sweet oil. He likes honeycomb.
Perfect.
So I want to watch him very intently.
Yeah, I mean, he's
and-
obviously whispering to her, so...
Yeah, I want to try and hear as much as I can
Okay.
because I find that to be very dubious.
So we'll do perception check,
Okay.
a stealth check, not aided by the +10 for pass without a trace.
Not aided, huh?
Yeah, because it's not really...
Yeah,
Although
fair.
it's technically... I did call it a stealth check.
Isn't it just
I rolled
a
an
stealth
11,
check?
so I don't think it matters.
It really won't matter very much, but go ahead and roll.
That's a natty 20. I'm very good at what I do.
Again.
And then she has to make a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yeah. Hold on, let me see.
The
It
spy.
is a...
Octavia, yeah.
Not me.
Yeah, wisdom saving throw, please.
That's a natural 4.
That is a failure.
I know.
Bard
So-
versus spy.
Suggestion. You suggest a course of activity, limited to a sentence or two, and magically influence a creature you can see within the range that can hear and understand you. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect.
Oh, she does have advantage because she's a half-elf, I believe.
Are immune to this effect.
This was a 3.
So this is how it works. The suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Asking the creature to stab itself, throw itself onto a spear, immolate itself, or do some other obviously harmful act ends the spell. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So that's why I teed it up with tricking her into thinking that I have some terrible mind worm thing going on. Not mind worm, but, you know, bad mental power.
I would like you to just make a quick deception check with advantage to see about the lie that you were saying, to see how reasonable this course of action seems to her. Because your suggestion hinges on her believing that there's a threat to her.
Sure.
And either deception or intimidation, your choice.
I'll go with deception. That's
I will
fine.
give you advantage, though.
So 17 or... Yeah, that's a 26.
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, she believes you, and she is compelled by you to answer truthfully. Okay, fine.
So, and I step back. All right, so Octavia, tell us about your operation and everything you're doing here.
My organization, the Sterling Stamp, is a thieves guild and a spy organization. We are essentially espionage for hire. Never supposed to tell anyone who I am, but you all seem pretty trustworthy, and also I might die, and I think this seems like the best course of action. My mission was to gather information on what was happening in Narrowalk in regards to the border to Mazra. My understanding being that would help in the acquisition of the barony by the Talim Empire. My impression, based on the flames we saw outside, is that seems to have worked, so certainly I've performed my job.
So Talim hired you.
I'm not sure who hired me. It comes in anonymously through my handlers.
Who's your handler?
My handler is a man named Richmond. He operates out of...
Richmond.
My handler operates out of Shimmer City.
Where's Shimmer City? I'm
On
just
the,
asking
on
that
the map.
as
South,
a person looking
southwest.
at a map. Okay, got it.
I love looking at my map because it's just nothing.
There's no names.
It's just, you have to write it on there.
I know.
So much work.
Octavia,
Octavia.
If we're looking for a way to get out of the city, where are the weakest areas and points of control and guards in the town?
You're talking about this town?
Yes.
Well, heading east is no difficulty at all. You simply walk out the land bridge and then you're into the rest of the barony. Going west, you have to wait for the guards to be not on duty. It's possible to take the lakes, but this time of year that's very difficult.
So if we still want to take Octavia and Khyle to the barony, we can just simply walk over the bridge to the east. It seems there isn't any guards at this time. It just sounds like when we were trying to go to Port Page, that was really the difficult time to make a move.
One doesn't simply walk into Matet.
Where is Port
I've
Page?
heard of this before. That phrase specifically. Port Page is on the south end of Mazra.
Oh, wait, no, somebody can't simply just walk into Matet. Never mind, my bad.
Oh, that's right. That's on their postcards. You can just simply walk in to Matet.
Matet, simply walk in.
Yeah, from here it's about a
What a friendly town.
from here it's about a 3-day journey to Matet.
That's if we're not going 90 and trading off driving the cart.
That's true.
Octavia, are there any other agents in this town we need to worry about?
No other agents you need to worry about, but I imagine my sister will be rather peeved.
Who?
My sister, my half-sister, Desdemona DeRush. She's the head of the Harfield Hall. They're the provisioners in town, the main suppliers. She's essentially the individual who all but runs this town.
Does she know about your real job?
She knows that I have income from other sources. She doesn't know the details. Or at least I've never told her the details. She's not a fool.
Would she be angry at you?
She seems to pause and think about this for a minute. And she says, we've had our difficulties. We don't share the same father. We've always had a strained relationship. She's human. I'm half elven. But I'd imagine she would feel very protective of me.
I see. Is she a barony loyalist?
She's a currency loyalist.
I see.
As long as she can make good with whatever governing structure is in charge.
She's about getting that good.
Now, the interesting thing to note is that it will be more difficult for people to leave if this area is more regulated by Talim, which would mean that there would be less money coming in and less people buying provisions to go on illegal expeditions into Mazra. So yes, she would lose money.
Mm-hmm.
She runs illegal expeditions into Mazra?
No, she simply sells people the gear that they will need. The same gear that she looks at all of you. If someone were gearing up, buying supplies for a wagon, and then not leaving that day and preparing in the dead of night, possible that she got money from some of you. And you realize as she's talking to you that she's been watching you for some time.
Excuse us, I don't like what you're accusing us of.
I'm not accusing anyone of anything other than implying, I suppose I am technically implying that you were about to make an illegal entry into Mazra, but I think I've stated that I don't particularly mind you doing it. I simply would have reported on that information as I was doing today and I would have done tomorrow regarding your departure. That's why I'm up so late.
Octavia, what do you plan to do, let's say, after we leave town, if we leave you here?
What's your dreams, your goals?
Oh, well, I would write a letter to my contact, of course, and I would slip it into the saddle and pass along that information.
That you made contact with us.
Oh, that you discovered my secret. And then I suppose if you left, I would have to go to ground and disappear.
Take all your cyanide tablets?
No, I don't go in for any of that sort of behavior.
Mm.
I'm not sure which direction I would go. I guess it would depend. Whichever way you went, I would go the opposite. I suppose that's what I would do.
Maybe you should come with us.
Maybe we should have a new party member.
I don't think that having a person who is spying on us is necessarily a good addition to an adventuring group. Also, I think just keeping it minimal, not a lot of people.
But we already have Kevin, Kyle coming with us. We have
yes, that's temporary. So
We also have Kevin.
You guys made a new friend already? How many K friends are we
Kevin.
bringing along with
we
us?
We have Khyle. We have Caliper.
Well,
Ooh, Caliper.
I thought we were just trying to gather people to come with us.
no.
You thought we were collecting people.
Well, we have Perrin, we have Kyle and his family.
Yeah.
I
We have Everyone. We've joined all of us together.
You know, your penchant to make friends is very sweet and endearing, but no, that is not the purpose of this.
If they are an advantage to us, we will take them with us.
For a little while, because, I think the less people we encounter, like, the better, so people don't know who we are.
So what will she do if she does not come with us? She obviously...
That's what we're trying to find out.
I understand that, but I mean, if she is reporting on us, that does not sound like the best idea for us.
Yes, so we need to sort of figure out what we're going to do about it.
In what regards?
Well,
Don't we also have to
How
bring...
are we going to stop her from reporting on us?
I thought we had to bring her to justice.
I'd much rather you didn't, though.
The justice part?
I'd much prefer that didn't happen.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we might have to figure something out,
Unfortunately, you did break the law, and,
Hmm.
that's kind of a part of the deal.
That's really disappointing.
What if we asked you very nicely to just continue to sell horses?
I suppose I could do that.
And
Would you do that, Octavia?
Well,
and
you can-
only sell, like, the only job you will have forever is just selling horses.
I'm not sure.
Well, I would say that I'm not entirely certain how she's going to feel tomorrow about all of this. There's a very real chance that she will continue her work as a spy and probably make her way out of town.
Also, I don't mean to be a stick in the mud, but it doesn't really matter if you want to sell horses for the rest of your life. You committed a crime, treason, against the barony, and you should be brought to justice. After you've been tried fairly and maybe served your time, you can go to selling horses again.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me. And make it with advantage, because she is currently charmed.
18.
She nods. Well, I think my odds got pretty good when that beacon fire changed colors. I think I would be treated very fairly. If we were to go down this road, which I'm not saying is my preference, certainly I have my own desires, although I suppose either way my cover would be blown, wouldn't it?
Yes, it's already blown.
I think Quatra's right, that we have to resolve this issue with the justice. And I think once we do that, whatever they decide, which will be just, will mean that maybe Octavia has a chance to do whatever she wants in this town, or even in the Huang Barony, wherever she ends up. But we should probably do that.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
We take her to the Huang Barony, we take her to Matet.
Simple.
Sounds good.
And then our responsibility to the knight will be finished.
Now, Octavia, do you have any kind of fail-safes here that if you don't check in a certain amount of time, they'll know something?
That would have been really nice to have.
Sounds like she doesn't.
That's a no.
Okay, let's go.
Will you give us any trouble as we travel?
I don't feel like that would be the wisest move for me.
Because you're relying on a fair trial.
You also beat the shit out of me very easily.
Yeah, that's true also.
But I did make you feel a little better.
No, I appreciate that I don't feel as bad now as I did a little bit ago. I don't think I would stand a chance against you in a fair fight. And I think you're going to be a little bit more careful about me than you would be with a stray animal.
I would treat you very similarly to a stray animal because I'm
I was
kind.
thinking the same thing. She has a little bit of a stray animal joining us.
But I'm kind to animals, so it will be very similarly treated.
It's true, Gregory does like you.
How do we know Gregory likes her?
I don't know, Gregory hasn't attacked you yet. Has Gregory attacked you yet, Quatra? Gregory's my owl.
Oh, no. I've not been attacked by an owl.
Then there you go.
But I would not
Oh,
hesitate to punch an owl.
And you haven't met Snuggles. Oh, Snuggles will love you.
All right, so I think maybe we take Octavia into Huang Barony. We can go whenever. We don't even have to wait for the guards to change.
We can
We
leave.
should leave right away.
Yeah, sounds good.
Seeing as that knight will continue to seek vengeance.
Exactly.
Yes.
Take the kid with us. We'll take Perrin with us.
Yes.
And we'll take Octavia with us. Now, Octavia, as we're leaving town, like we talked about before, it is important that you work with us, or else,
No, I understand.
there can be complications.
The conditions, of course.
All right, great.
Are we leaving right now, or do we want to rest beforehand?
No. We gotta go. We've got like I don't have a watch, but Phineas is thinking in the back of his mind. I've got like about
I feel
7
like-
hours,
Sundial.
and
I feel like I'm thinking of like how in Name of the Wind, like you can kind of feel when magic is like having its term. I feel like you have the ticking clock in your mind.
I know that I've got about 7 hours and like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's about
so
right.
we can't take like a long rest or something like that.
Got
I
it.
see. We're going to keep you tied up, Octavia.
It does not surprise me, especially now.
And we should make sure everybody gets a pee before we start traveling.
Yes. Everyone gets a pee. Did
You
you get
a
your pee?
You get a pee.
Or number 2.
I haven't taken the pee yet.
So meet up downstairs, leave in 10.
I will be taking a number 2, so it will be half an hour.
I am good, so I'm just going to stay here with Octavia.
Thanks for listening to Friday Night Quests. Your heroes will return in 2 weeks. Ivy is played by Amanda Joy Condon. You can follow her on Twitter and Tumblr at Amanda Joy. That's spelled Joy. Althea is played by Hilary Levi, who is on Twitter at Hilary Levi. Phineas is played by Jay Jones, who can be found on Twitter at JAwesomeJones and on the podcasts Roll the Seas and Wrath and Glory. Quatra is played by Jeremy Fox, who can be found on Twitter at JLeeFox. Special thanks to Khyle Fryer for composing our theme song. You can follow him on SoundCloud for other totally radical music. This episode also included music by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. You can find the track listing and credits in the show notes. This episode also included ambient sound from tabletopaudio.com. Photos and character art can be found on the show notes on partialarc.com. And while you're there, you should check out some of our other podcasts. I recommend Wrath and Story, a hilarious RPG show set in the Warhammer 40k universe. If you have any questions about the show, you can email us at FridayNightQuests@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr at partialarc. Thanks for listening, and until next time, play fair and have fun.